Good morning. Yes, several years ago now, Marsha and I had been down to St. Martin in order to go sailing, and we had had a great time. But now we were headed home, and you're ready to be home when you finally start that part of a trip. We got on the plane and we were sitting there on the tarmac when suddenly the captain came on and he said, "We have a passenger who has decided that he doesn't maybe feel well. He's decided he doesn't want to fly today. And by law, we now have to take his bag back off the airplane." We were ready to push the gate. I looked over at Marsha and said, "We have an hour and a half window to make our connection when we get to Charlotte, North Carolina." I said, "It is going to be tight. This better not take long." Well, you think about it, they have to go unload all the bags looking for this guy's bag because he made the decision, I just don't feel like I want to fly today. And we're sitting there. The plane is packed. Everyone is antsy and packed. And they start unloading these bags. We're watching them haul them out on the tarmac. Finally, they find this guy's suitcase. They start loading them all back onto the plane. It took more than an hour. I'm watching my watch and I'm saying, we're dead. We are dead. We are not going to make it. We took off and we're flying. Again, I keep watching my watch and we are going to have to fly through customs. We're going to have to get through customs quickly or we are not going to make it. Sure enough, we land. We go running as quickly as we can to baggage claim, trying to get our bags. We finally do get our bags. We are hustling. I keep looking at my watch. And we come around the corner and the sign says U.S. Customs only, residents. And when we turn the corner, there was a line a mile long, snaking back and forth through all these pylons. I said, "It's it. We're over." We're standing there in line, and it was actually moving quicker than I could have imagined. It was moving quite right along. They had 6 lanes open. They were trying to be efficient and move us through. Again, I'm watching my watch. We're getting closer and closer. And I got to admit, at this point, I'm a little frustrated and a little angry. We're all going to miss our connecting flights. We'll miss ours. Because one person decided they didn't want to fly and they'd already gotten there and checked their luggage, and now it just was so frustrating. So as we're getting closer and closer, I noticed that there was a man standing up front and he was helping things to go quick. He was watching all 6 lanes and he'd be directing people, "Why don't you go here, you go here." But as we got closer, what I heard him suddenly saying to every single person, he'd looked you in the eye and said, "Welcome home. I hope you had a good trip. And then how many are in your party? Why don't you go to lane 3? Well, we got closer and closer, and sure enough, here he was with his big smile in the midst of all this chaos and people who were frustrated. And he looks right at me and he goes, "Welcome home. Hope you had a great trip. How many in your party?" I said, 2. Well, all of them were packed. So we had to stand there for a moment. He said, "So where did you go?" Well, we went down to St. Martin. We went sailing. "Did you have a good time?" Yeah, we actually had a great time. "Well, we're so glad that you're back home, and we hope it's great to be home." And he was so darn nice. And he just kept smiling and being friendly and asking us about our trip, which we had had a wonderful time. Finally said, "Lane 3, you can go there." We went over, we checked through lane 3. Everybody was very kind. We got to the other side. Our plane had taken off. We didn't make it. But I have to admit, I actually felt different. He had changed my whole mood. We didn't get to make it home that night. Marsha and I went to go find a hotel and sit down to have dinner. And I couldn't get it off my mind. And I said, that man just did something for everybody standing there in line, welcoming you home, hoping you had a good trip. How are you doing? I said, we all could do that. We all could carry that sort of an aura with us, where we welcome people home. How are you doing? Hope it's been great. The Apostle Paul said to us, "Rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep." Be interested in other people. Bring a smile. If you and I do, we are going to bless so many people's lives by the Spirit we bring to them. And it's going to put a smile on your face too. I hope you and I'll go out today and decide to love our neighbors, no exception, and do it with a smile. Welcome home.